Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Come in.
There's a cat. Good cat.
Welcome to the Aikido of London discussion series. Today's guests are Senseis Cathy, Okada and Melo from Gyodokan. We discuss the dojo's second anniversary. So, welcome. It's been a while. It's an Aikido of London podcast special, I guess. And the main point is that in a few weeks' time, it'll be 2 years since you opened your dojo. The t-shirt. So, we're going to cover a few things, but let's start with that. I mean, how's it been? I mean, I've been around, of course, but I'm not there every week at your venue and in Ealing, in West London. And how? First of all, congratulations, you're still here. And how's it going?
Well, in these 2 years, we went from the first venue, which was at the University Sports Centre.
I remember.
University of West London.
University of West London, and then we moved to where we are now, the church hall at St Matthew's, which was a great move. We're much happier there. It's much more to do with the kind of environment I think you'd like to have to practice what we practice, because it's quiet. You don't get the road noise, because of course it's an Uxbridge road in front of us. It's a big road connecting West London, but of course at the back we don't get that, so it's really nice, for zazen and everything else we do. And we've got the garden, so we do weapons outside during summer.
That's nice.
Which is really good. That's really good. And
I suppose I could do Navigation Square, couldn't I?
yeah.
And woo 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 as the police come by.
So that's good. It's been good. It's been up and down. I think we had a better start than I thought we would have. I thought it was just gonna be me and Cathy for a few months training by ourselves. But then we didn't, and we had people pretty much
From the beginning.
yeah. Every night. So that was great. It was way more than I expected to happen. And then he grew and it's come down again.
I think what we have now is we've kind of got like quite a solid group of core members.
Yeah.
So, just a handful of people. Ideally, to keep the roof over our heads, we need more.
Yeah.
But in terms of teaching, that's been really nice to have
been really good.
a small group. And I think nice for the students as well. Like they've commented that they quite like the small classes. I think it can probably be a bit intense sometimes.
Yeah.
In that way, having smaller classes, there's less. There's nowhere to hide, I guess, for the.
Haven't you arranged for children?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Starting soon.
Yeah. So we just did a pilot, a 4-week pilot, the kids program, and
You've already done that.
yeah.
How did that go?
Yeah, it was good. James has been helping me with that as well, and we've got a few of those kids are going to be joining us in September. We also did Hyper Japan Festival, so we had the workshops at Hyper Japan, and out of that we've also got a child coming to join us in September as well. So
a little bit of
yeah.
And there was the Japanese school, I believe, in Ealing.
Yeah.
Or is it Acton?
Yeah, in Acton, which is a well-known Japanese school. And yeah, I got that great opportunity to teach there. It was a workshop for 100 kids, so it was quite crazy.
Oh, I didn't realise it was that large.
Yeah.
So that's so reminiscent of the British Museum, the Hokusai.
No, that came via the university, because of course I'm doing the masters in Buddhist studies, SOAS, and then my Japanese teacher, my language teacher, has that connection in the Japanese school. And she's like, oh, don't you want to come and teach, some Aikido? And she was very excited because it was the first time that SOAS offered something to the Japanese school in terms of Japanese culture. Because they often take SOAS students to the Japanese school, so they have like a Japanese type of day. So people that are doing Japanese studies or anything related to Japanese culture at SOAS, they go there to experience calligraphy or dance or something specific. So it was the first time that they offered something from our side, from the university side. So it was great.
What was the reception like?
They seem to have fun. They seem to have enjoyed it.
Was it one session?
It was one session, yeah.
So there's 100 kids, no maths. So
No maths.
So no falling.
No, yeah.
And how many minutes was it? It was quite short, wasn't it?
It was quite short. It was 25 minutes, something like that.
It's enough.
It's enough, because it's too many people anyway.
And is there outgrowth from that? Future possibilities?
I don't know. We've left. I've left a lot of promo material. Left our posters. They asked for the flyers that we had, so I left a bunch of flyers. And the head teacher was quite interested because he had trained in Japan, I think judo and kendo, and
not unusual.
But
yeah,
we'll see. That was a few months ago, so I'm not sure.
We've had the summer recess, and as of this week, we'll be picking up back to normal. So moving forward, you didn't expect to find yourselves where you are. And do you envision anything going forward?
Well, I think I would like for us to be able to at some point have a regular Iaido class. That's one thing, because right now we have private Iaido, so I have private student for that. I teach online as well, because it allows it. Of course, we have private Aikido classes as well, but it would be nice to have a regular, because now we've got Zazen, we've got weapons, of course we have Aikido, regular Aikido classes. It would be nice to have a little group for Iaido. So we'll see.
And do you include sitting these days?
Yeah, on Mondays. On Mondays we have half an hour.
Yeah. It follows the children's class, so it's quite a good way to to kind of reset before the adults class in the evening.
This sort of leads, I suppose, to there's the daily running, but also how do we give exposure to both our dojos, Gyodokan and Aikido of London. For me, it's been an ongoing thing, on off for quite a long time, 2 decades now. And it's there's a couple of changes, I guess. We're in the where are we? Let's sort of break it down. Not us as Aikido teachers and practitioners, but society. We're in economic difficulties post-COVID, and in the hegemony, if you want, of mixed martial arts. So what we do in a way is kind of an oddball art. I mean, we obviously don't think so, and we're well sort of into it. I mean, to say that is an understatement. I mean, I've dedicated my life to it basically, but that's neither here nor there. You're still here now, and how we go forward, and which means how we see ourselves. I've got, that I've got a pretty strong idea of what I think Aikido has to offer, and there's always been this angle that's become very popular over the years, which is Aikido is good for everyone. But then I always ask the question, but is everyone good for Aikido? And after 20 years of Aikido of London, let alone my previous incarnation, is the answer is no, it's not. Aikido itself needs to be looked after, it needs to be protected, something my old teacher would talk about. That's the nature of people in a way, when a larger number comes into something. Not that it's exactly happening right now, but let's assume some of that. There's that danger, so it needs protection, which means values and standards. And so, in that respect, we're quite fundamentalist. The real meaning of it, fundamental meaning, the A, B, C, D, E, we're not going to budge from, because if we do, we've seen what happens to what we love to do, and it diminishes it. So finding an approach, not to change our art, because there's a lot of that on the media, on the social media. I mean, where when is it going to modernize? When is it going to do this? When is it going to be tested in this? And we have a good giggle at it, and by what I mean by that is, most of these guys who critique that way don't train, and those who do, you probably don't know enough to get moving properly, let alone addressing all those other stuff. That's a dedication. That takes an enormous amount of time, energy, good tuition, and more. And stuff that I'm not even going to begin to describe here. That's not what the podcast is for today. And so we come back to the beginning, a word that I don't like to use, but I'm going to use it. What's our pitch? It's what's our pitch? And Cathy, I mean, you've made the first vocal.
It's I don't know, it's tricky because we've been talking about this the last few days, and I often think about my music, because we have a music background, and I for a while there was talk of me, releasing something through a fairly major label actually, and I always felt weird about I think people talking about marketing my music or this thing. I think when I got asked this question once, and I hated it. It was, what's your USP? So your unique selling point.
They've even got a term.
What's your USP? And I just my initial reaction was to run from the room, And sometimes I think that about Aikido, we have this practical need to have a certain number of students so that we can keep the place running, right? There's the practical aspect of being able to afford the space to teach, without it being a case of we're paying to teach, so there's that. But at the same time, sometimes I think that this idea of just basically commerciality and marketing and Aikido, or art in general, as we were talking about earlier, I don't know if it mixes. At least for me, I find it difficult to mesh the two, and
you've always said that. But that's interesting, because I remember we would have many conversations about popular music, rock music, and the whole gamut over decades. And you feel that we're approaching an era which is more normal for commercial music, meaning that it was never...
That's not commercial.
The scale, certainly my own generation is these huge rock bands, the stadiums, etc. The scale of it and the monies involved technologies allowed that. The idea of Wembley Stadium and one singer is really, in the scheme of things, quite new. I mean, at least as far as I can see. And so we're coming back to the original reason, art for the love of it. At least that's what I'm hoping for. But I think this is worth discussing, and because I think it's very relative to the pitch. But let's have a break and come back and sort of elaborate a little bit more.
Cool.
So,